Hi guys, this is an instructional video for sixth graders and I'm doing things a little bit differently, so you'll have to be a little bit patient with me trying some new technology. So I am going to flip over to my computer so that you can see what I'm doing. Okay, so and all I'm going to show you is um, that you can go to a new tab and you're going to look on you can just Google Prairie Creek Band, and that'll take you to our band website. Okay, and this is where you're going to find some new music to play today. So once you get to your to the band website, you're going to go over here to where it says helpful instruction. And there's some pretty great stuff on this website. This is just as I find things that I think you might be interested, I go ahead and link it to this website. So to this page. So if you want to browse through here on your own sometime, that's fine. But today we're going to go under the For Everyone, and then we're going to go under the tab that says More Fun Songs. So you're going to, go ahead and click on that. And that takes you to this really great band website where you can get a bunch of free music to practice. Okay, you can, this is sorted by music title, but you can sort it by rating. That just means like difficulty. Most sixth graders play either 0.5 or some of the ones are pretty hard, but you can check them out. Or you can sort it by category or whatever. Okay, we're going to just do it by title. And we're going to scroll all the way down to I've Been Working on the Railroad. That's the song we're going to learn today. It takes you to this page, and this is where you find your instrument, okay? So like this is all grouped together because trombone, baritone, bassoon, and bass guitar happen to have all the same part, okay? So I'm going to pretend I'm a flute player. I'm going to click on that flute part. You can see it's downloading over here. And once it's downloaded, you can click on it and you can read it on your screen. However, I think it's way easier to print. So if you have capability of printing, I would definitely go ahead and print this because it's kind of hard to scroll through your screen and if you miss a note or something like that. And I'm gonna recommend that you mark some things in your music. So if you possibly can, go ahead and print that off. So take a minute and find I've Been Working on the Railroad for your music, for your instrument, that is. Grab your instrument, get a pencil or a highlighter. If you have a highlighter, that would be like awesome. And then obviously have your instrument in a music stand, and come back to this video and we'll continue on. Okay, so hopefully you have your printed music. If you aren't able to print, you can look at it digitally. You're just going to have to manipulate the screen a little bit. So you probably notice right away that on these pieces, there are two parts. Every instrument, no matter what, has the melody part, and that's the top line, and that's what we're all going to learn. Okay, so for most kids that have never played on music that has like multiple parts, it's much easier to use a highlighter. So you can highlight the word melody, and then what you want to do is just like highlight what you're going to play. Okay, and that's that top line. It's identified at the beginning of the line with an M. So like this is the trombone part and it has melody or bass. It could be like if you have flute or clarinet, probably says something like melody and harmony. Okay, and this is if you were going to play it as a duet, but we're just going to play it as a solo today. So it will be very helpful for you. It'll help your eyes find your place if you highlight the part. Okay, just makes your eyes drop right to it. Now if you don't have a highlighter at home, something else that you can do is just draw a big obvious arrow on the lines, because as you go to the new line, your eyes will see something different. So that's another option. Hopefully everybody has like a pencil at their house, where you can mark the beginnings of each line. Okay, so that'll just help you be able to find your part. Okay, all right. Next step we're going to do is I'm going to be playing trombone today. And those of you that know me very well know that I'm not like a master trombone player, but I thought it would be good for you all if I play different instruments each time I make a video. So today is trombone day for me. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to set my metronome. You can use your metronome on your Chromebooks. Just type in metronome, or if you're like me, I like to use an app. There's like a bazillion apps out there. And we're gonna, let's try this. 1, 2, 3. Oh, no, that's too slow. Let's go back. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1. That's about the speed that we're aiming to play once we've learned it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play it through for you so you hear what it sounds like. All right, here we go. We're going to start at the very beginning. Remember, we're always playing that melody line. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3. All right, so it has a repeat sign, but we're going to skip that for now. Okay, so a couple of things that I think will be helpful to you. I'm going to pause the video for just a second so that I can show you, hopefully you'll be able to see the music better. Okay, so hopefully you're looking at similar music that I am. Of course, you may not play trombone, and that's totally fine. But again, we're looking at that melody part, okay? And the first thing I want you to notice is the time signature, okay? So there's 4 beats per measure. These are just things that we want to check before we start playing. You also want to check the key signature as a trombone player, baritone player, tuba player, mallet player, flute player. We're all going to have those 3 flats, and for you guys that's an A flat. But if you play another instrument, you're going to have a different key signature. So make sure you check that out. Okay, so we go through, we play that first line, and then we drop down to the melody line here. Okay, now one of the reasons I picked this exercise is because I think it's really good for us to keep practicing those dotted quarter notes. So remember, dotted quarter notes get 1.5 counts each. So this rhythm is going to go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So if I clap just the rhythm, it's going 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Okay, now many of you may know this melody, and so that makes it easier. It also makes it more fun, and you know when you're playing it accurately. Okay, so that's one spot I really want you to make sure that every time you have those dotted quarter notes, that you're holding them out. So you don't want to go 1, 2, 3, and 4 and. That would be tempting, but you're going to go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay? All right, I want you to slide down to measure 11 where the words are can't you hear the whistle blowing? Okay, on count 3, everybody has an unexpected note. It's outside of the key signature. So like I said, I'm looking at trombone music. You're probably not looking at trombone music. Mine is an E natural. So for trombones, make sure you're playing it in 2nd position. Baritones, 2nd finger. Tubas, 2nd finger. Flute players, E as in not flat. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and then pinky, that ring finger is up. Okay, so it's not an E flat. So you all should know how to play that note, but it's just a reminder. And then look back in measure 12 in the next measure. It gives you a reminder, okay, that we go back to what the note was originally in the key signature. Because when we have something like this, it's called an accidental, and it only lasts for the measure. And then when we go to the next measure, it goes back to as usual. Okay, and those are the spots that I thought might be a little bit surprising. So we're going to practice this a couple more times. And this time we are going to, you guys can play along with me. So I want you to continue to work on the habit of playing along with your metronome. So I'm going to dial down my metronome so that I can practice at a slower click. So I'm setting my metronome to about 70. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. That slowing down gives you some more process time so that you're still able to think about things, but it's not so fast that it's crazy. Okay, so I'm going to put my metronome right behind my music. We're going to do the first section together. We're going to, we'll play the first 3 lines together. Okay, here we go. Starting at the beginning, which is kind of like the intro. All right, we're going to give the metronome's going to count us off to 4, and then you play right along with me this time. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and when you look at those, that line 2 and line 3, they're pretty similar, okay? Now, if that was hard for you, pause this video and practice it a couple of times. If I'm going too slow for you, just be patient, because it doesn't hurt us at all to practice slowly a couple of times before we speed it up to what we want, okay? So let's practice those first 3 lines one more time. Here we go, nice and slow still, right at the beginning. Oh, and you know what I noticed this time when I played? The first 3 notes are short, but the 4th note is long. And the first 2 measures, it goes short, 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 long, short, 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 long. I didn't notice that before. So try to do that along with me this time. All right, here we go from the beginning. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I bet you played it better this time. If you're still struggling with something, then go ahead and hit pause, practice it at your own rate. If you need to look in your lesson book to look up a fingering, that's totally fine to do that too. Percussionists, take the time to be smart about your sticking so that you are developing good percussion skills. Okay, we're going to start in measure 11 because it's a little bit different now. So join me. We're going to do the last 2 lines of the song, measure 11 to the end. Here we go. 4 clicks, or she'll count us off, and then we start. 1, 2, 3, 4. go, if you need to practice that a couple of more times, especially in measure 11, you might have been caught off guard by that third note that wasn't in the key signature. So if you need to check that out, practice that a couple of times. That's totally fine. Okay, we're gonna do this piece 2 more times. The next time I increase the speed back up to 90. And so if you're ready to play it faster with me, you can do that. If you're not ready, that's okay. I would rather have it be a little bit slower and accurate than play it fast and sloppy. If you're ready to go fast, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I didn't play it perfectly. Hopefully you played it better than I did. Okay, we're gonna play it one more time this time. And this time, hopefully you've practiced it enough that you're feeling confident. And I'm going to play what's called the bass line while you keep playing the melody. So you can hear how this part, how the 2 parts sound together. Now, again, your music might not have the bass line. Your music might have what's called harmony. It depends on what instrument you have. So don't be thrown off if you're looking at your music and you cannot figure out what I'm playing. I'm playing what's written on my trombone music. Okay, so you keep playing the part that we've been practicing today. We're going to play it at the same speed at the click of 90 that we were doing before, but I'm going to play a different part to see if we can kind of play a virtual duet. Okay, here we go. By the way, it starts out the same, but then in measure 3, it gets different. So don't be caught off guard by that. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, guys, so totally don't judge my trombone playing. It wasn't perfect, but hopefully this helps you, give you a little bit of guide to practicing a new song. Now, next Monday is going to be another day where I'm going to ask you to consider to record you playing something on Flipgrid for all of the band kids, both 5th and 6th grade. And this would be a really great one that you could record yourself. You have all week to practice it so that you can feel really great about it. So go back and use this video or portions of this video as you need to as a practice tool. Happy practicing, and I hope you enjoy the song. Bye, guys.